In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Remember, O most gracious Virgin Mary, that never was it known that anyone who fled to thy protection, implored thy help, or sought thine intercession, was left unaided. Inspired by this confidence, I fly unto thee, O Virgin of Virgins, my Mother. To thee do I come, before thee I stand, sinful and sorrowful. O Mother of the Word incarnate, despise not my petitions, but in thy mercy hear and answer. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Take out, please, your problem number 7, I believe. It was 5C- or 6C-5. Over to where human beings can see me on the video. And let me see what you have.
Oh, good.
Oh, whoops.
There's no way we got the exact.
Okay. Let me call up the answer here. Could somebody do me a huge favor and read off the problem again? I want to make sure I have the right page. Is it
4y squared plus x.
hold on a second. 4y squared plus x
Plus 24y plus 32 equals.
Perfect. Thank you. There we are. All right. First of all, it is a parabola. It is opening to the left. It should have x as the leader, so your formula should have x equals something or other. Let me see. It should be x equals -4 parentheses y minus -3 parentheses squared plus 4. Anybody need that repeated? Actually, let me get the same difference. It is again. X equals -4 parentheses y minus -3 parentheses squared plus 4. We catch that? All right. The vertex is 4, -3. The height multiplier is -4. We've got, oh, did you? Never mind.
I'll give it to you on Friday.
No worries. Let me see. So I got the vertex of 4, -3. The height multiplier is -4. The focal move is, hang on a second, -1/16. -1/16. The focus is 63/16, comma, -3. If anybody has 3 and 15/16, comma, -3, that's fine. The directrix is x equals 65/16. You could also have 4 and 1/16. The axis of symmetry is y equals -3. Any repeats? Questions? There's only one. But, you have a question on number 9? No. Any questions on that? How'd it go? Easy, hard, medium? Sort of, kind of? Okay. Do it. You will have another chance to strut your stuff. This, it looks a lot like the previous worksheet, except number 1, I removed the typo on the top. It says actually parabolas. And number 2, they alternate between up, down, and left, right. So let me review just a few things. I'm actually going to give you a healthy amount of time to work today. Did I miss anything? Okay. Look at number 1. Can somebody tell me from yesterday what is the leader variable? Leader variable. Becca.
No.
Why? Why do you say that? No pun intended.
Because
It's not squared. The fact that it's in front is called a luxury. That's called being lucky. If it's all scrambled up, like, actually look at problem number 7 on the other side. Can you tell me what the leader variable is? Okay. X. Why do you say that? Because it's not squared. The leader variable is the one that's never squared in the problem. If one variable is squared and the other one isn't, that's a parabola. And whichever one is not squared is the leader, and it belongs in front by itself. So on number 7, you're eventually going to have to get an equation x equals blah, 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 blah. Okay? Like at number 1, 2, 3, 4, Merry Christmas, they did it for you. I would say you're welcome, except the computer auto-generated these, so thank the computer. It owes us one after all the stupid problems it threw at us. So what direction is number 1 parabola opening? Please. Up, down, left, or right?
Down.
Down. Why do you say that? 2 reasons.
Because it's y equals.
Yes.
A negative height.
Right. Why is the, yesterday, near the end of the hour, or near the end of the lesson, we found out which way does the parabola open? It's from before kindergarten. Follow the leader. The leader is the non-squared variable. Follow it. If the leader is y, then it's either going to open up or down, because that's what y does. If the leader variable is x, then the parabola is either going to open left or right, because that's what x does. So number 1 opens down because y is the leader, and it's a negative height multiplier. Number 2, which way is that opening? Josh?
Maybe to the right.
To the right. Why do you say that?
Because X is the leader, and the height multiplier is positive.
Right. X is the leader, and the height multiplier, which is right in front of the y squared, which is 1, is positive. Katie, number 3, which way is it opening? Up. Why do you say that?
Because it's y equals, so it's either up or down, and the height multiplier is positive.
Correct. It's positive 1/2, but it's still positive. The leader is y, so it's either going up or down, and the height multiplier is positive, which means you're going up. Number 4, Mary, what direction is it opening?
To the right.
To the right. Explain.
Because x is leading, and
Uh-huh.
then the height multiplier is positive.
Right.
To the right.
If the x is the leader, it's going to be left or right. And if the height multiplier is positive, in this case positive 1/3, it's got to go to the right. I do want to give you just a quick practice problem, and then I think I can let you work on your own. Do be aware that on problems number 5, 6, and 7, you will have to complete the square in order to get it in vertex form. Or you can do the negative b over 2a trick as well. But one way or the other, you have to get it in vertex form. It's not in the right form yet. You all remember studying scientific notation for the first time? Trip down memory lane. That's not today's lesson. Oops. Try this. Graph the following. X equals negative 1/3 parentheses y minus 2 squared plus 1. So there's our parabola in all its full glory. Question, Sam, how do we know it's a parabola?
Because it's squared.
What squared? Something is squared. The x or the y?
Y squared.
The y is squared. If you expanded this out, it would be y squared minus 4y plus 4. Square the first double product, square the last. Well, the y is squared. Is the x squared? No, nowhere. If one variable is squared in the problem and the other one is never squared, that's a parabola, guaranteed. Commit that to memory. Because I'm going to give you some absolutely bizarre formulas, like on number 7. I'll just make it worse. And I'll say, what kind of shape is that? Is it an ellipse? Is it a parabola? Circle? Or what? If one variable is squared and one's not, parabola. Now, Blaze, which way is it opening? To the left. Why do you say that?
Because it's x equals negative.
Yeah. X is the leader. The leader is whatever variable is not squared. Not squared. So even if it's out of order, you know what the leader is, whichever variable is never squared. That's the leader variable. And so it has to open left or right because you follow the leader. And the height multiplier is negative. So a negative x means goes to the left. Where's the vertex of this thing? Be careful. The numbers are there, but you gotta be careful. Mary, help me out here.
It would be 1, 2,
Yes, 1 comma 2. Why is it not 2 comma 1?
because x is leading.
Yes, x is the leader. When x and y are swapped, that's called an inverse function. It's kind of like what we did last week. If it's an week before, I forgot. Oh yeah, they stole you from me for like a week. Okay, it's spiritual reasons, so I can't say grr, but anyway, that's called grring in mind. So normally we have y equals, here's the normal formula, y equals a parentheses x minus h parentheses squared plus k. That's a normal parabola in normal vertex form. But there's an alternate. X equals a parentheses y minus k parentheses squared plus h, which means that the x and y have traded places, and the h and k have traded places. In other words, whenever you swap the x's and y's in all the places, that's called an inverse, which means you flip it over the line y equals x, and you basically make it go sideways. So, if the x and y are flipped, these two are flipped. Normally, this would be 2 comma 1, but they're flipped. It's 1 comma 2. Does that make sense? What's the height multiplier, Rennie?
Negative a third.
Negative a third, exactly. Now that's going to have implications for graphing. Give me for a second. That poor guy. There was somebody in the guy's bathroom. He thought it was like it's private. You know, I'll just whistle. Like, I can hear you upstairs. I'm so sorry. Moving on. What is the normal pattern for graphing a parabola? Just a plain old normal pattern, plain old parabola. Start at the vertex.
Oh, over 1 up 1.
Over 1 up 1.
Over 2 up 1.
Over 2 up 4. Over 10 up.
Over.
Very good. What's this going to do? Let's try it.
The normal chart is for over, up. This is for a parabola. So I agree, it's normally over 1 up 1, over 2 up 4, over 3 up 9, over 4 up 16, over 5 up 25, up 6, over 36. Normally it says like, okay, we get the idea, Mr. Cochran, why are you going so far? There's a reason. What is this gonna do? Nate, take over. What does this do to our pattern? If the height multiplier is negative 1/3, it does two things. What does the negative do?
Makes it flips
Yeah, it flips it. Instead of going up, it goes
down.
down. What does it do to the height?
Makes it a third size.
1/3 the size, so you tell me. Oh, sorry, the doofus thing isn't, I mean the lovely thing is in the way. What's this gonna be?
1/3.
1/3. Just keep in mind it's going down 1/3. How about the next one? Don't leave it as a fraction. 4/3. Next one? I'll do 9/3, but yeah. Next one? 16 over 3. I know I'm just staggering these because there's not enough room. Keep going. 25/3, and then 36/3. Do any of these reduce?
One's, yeah, 9/3.
Yeah, 9/3 goes down to what? 3. And any others?
36 over 3 is 12.
To 12. Does everybody follow that? So why would we have done that? I'll show you in a minute. Let's graph this thing. We'll analyze it in a second. But the graph will help us. The vertex is at 1, 2. Okay. 1, 2. And it's opening to the left. Now again, normally we do, watch where my fingers go. Over 1 up 1, over 2 up 4, over 3 up 9 from the vertex. Or if it's down, over 1 down 1, over 2 down 4, over 3 down 9. Sideways parabolas, you have to like tilt your head to the side, to the right. Like here's the y positive, the x positive is the new up. Is there a phrase that said it's the new orange or something like that? I don't even know what that means. But this is the new up. This is the new mathematical up. It's like this, where all your blood runs to your right ear. Where if you go over 1 up 1, over 2 up 4, over 3 up 9. But if you're going down, it's over 1 down 1, over 2 down 4, over 3 down, whatever. I forget what I just said. That was wrong. Tell me how to step this through. Over 1, Austin, help me out. Over 1 what?
It would be over 1, like down 1/3.
Down 1/3. Now that's going to be a little awkward to graph. Let me put some spaces here. Over 1, down 1/3. You can do that. There's no law against it. Just mark it. This likes to be 2/3. I'm not a big fan of marking those fraction ones because they're so hard to squeeze in. You can. There's nothing against it. But what I'd like to do is skip to one that actually is nice. So, Mary Claire, give me a jump that you think would be nice. Over 3, down 3. This would be a much nicer experience. So over 3, that means 3 to the right, 2 to the left, and down 3, which should give you a point here and a point here. How many points make a good parabola when you're graphing? Okay. 5. You can get by with 3. 5 is better. Some people say, can I just do these little icky ones and then do the 2 nice ones and grab them? Yeah, I guess. Make sure you label it as 2/3. But I want to do one more jump. Over 6, down 12. Now this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I would suggest, by the way, whenever you're doing all this stuff, mark your numbers. This is 5, this is -1. This is +1. And then when I go over here, if I start at 1 and I go 12 that way, this is -11. So this is going to be a dot here at negative, whoops, not there. This is gonna be a negative 1, this will be negative 4, comma negative 11, and it will be 8, comma negative 11. I would suggest you put numbers wherever you actually need a dot. So I'm going to grab it like this. Oops, should be curving so. Does that make sense? It's a little weird to graph that, but it does work. Once you have it graphed, you can probably find the parts a little more easily. How many parts do we need to analyze a parabola, Joey? 6. We've got vertex, height multiplier, give me something else. Axis of symmetry. So the graph may help you with that. Where is that? What's the equation of the axis of symmetry? Y equals 2, correct. It's a horizontal line, so it's a y equals. Normally the axis of symmetry is x equals, because the parabolas go up and down. But this one goes side to side, so it's y equals 2. Give me another parts, Blaze. What else can we find in a parabola other than vertex, axis of symmetry, and what the heck am I doing? Height multiplier and axis of symmetry. Focal move. What letter is that?
C.
Yeah, little c. What's the formula for focal move for a parabola? 1 over 4a. That's going to be true forever and ever on that. Make sure the a is on the bottom. So what would that be in this case? It's going to be strange, I'll warn you. 1 over 4 times what? Negative a third. Simplify. 1 over, simplify. Nice. 1 divided by a fraction is the same as 1 multiplied by the reciprocal. Negative 3/4. The focal move is 3/4 of a space. Which way, by the way? To the left, because the whole parabola is going to the left. So it's 3/4 of a space to the left. In reality, it's the focus that's pulling the parabola with it. It's like a really, think of it as like a black hole or a neutron star or something that has an enormous gravitational pull. And it's taking this thing that would have been a straight line and going, and it just bends it and drags it toward it. This teeny little dot is bending this entire thing. All right, we've got focal move, which means we can probably find what? Megan. The focus. Which direction did it move? Left. To the left. We're starting at 1, 2. Move to the left, how far? 3/4. 3/4, you know what I mean. Where is that?
1/4,
Correct. 1/4, 2. What this really is 1 minus 3/4, 2. Start with the 1 and move 3/4 of a space to the left. The reason I highlight this is that sometimes the focal move might be icky. The focal move might be, I mean, God forbid, like radical 7. So what you do is 1 minus radical 7, 2, and you can just leave it. Does that make sense? There is, hang on a second, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one last thing to find. What would that be? Go. Directrix. Yeah, isn't that fun to pronounce? The directrix, what kind of shape is a directrix? It's a line. Where do you find it, Sam?
It's 3/4 the opposite way
Of the
parabola.
yeah, kind of, sort of. 3/4 the opposite direction from the what?
Vertex.
Yeah. It's a go. Nate.
The focus.
Focus. Correct. The focus goes left. The directrix goes right. They go opposite directions. Same distance. So it's going to be the exact same distance apart. Since we went 3/4 of a space to the left, then the directrix, that line, is 3/4 of a space to the right. Give me an equation for that one. Directrix. DIR is the abbreviation. Is it going to be x equals or y equals?
X.
X equals. X equals what? We're starting at 1, 2.
So it would be 1 and 1/4.
1 and
1 and 3/4. Sorry.
1 and 3/4.
Comma 2.
1 and 3/4 comma 2 would be a point. So what's your final answer?
Oh, it's just 1 and 3/4.
Exactly. X equals 1 3/4 is totally fine. Did we see how I get that? So again, there's 6 parts you need for a parabola. First, get it in the right form. Do complete the square if you have to. Then, nail down the vertex and x, or why do I keep saying x? It's a. Vertex and height multiplier. Then graph it. If it's a weird, this is probably, by the way, you probably won't get much harder than this. This is probably one of the most annoying height multipliers you'll get. Though dividing by 3 is awkward. Normally it's going to be 1/2 or 1/4, which is a lot easier. A little easier. Somewhat easier. And then after that, once you get the focal move, memorize this formula. C is equal to 1 over 4a, that's the focal move. Use that to find the focus, and then go the other way and find the directrix, and then you should be done. Questions? Are you feeling kind of okay on this? All right, your assignment is, well, it's actually going to be, here's how I'm going to run this. You'll have 25 minutes to go ahead and pound away at these. And I'm probably going to give you another 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes extra tomorrow to finish. So if you want to do it at home, by all means. Otherwise, if you want to catch up on sleep, go ahead and do that. We'll give you some time to finish it off tomorrow. And that's probably all you need for now. Everybody okay? Last questions? Alrighty, if you get stuck, call me over. If you have any new questions, call me over. Or come on over. And we can get busy. And for those of you watching at home, this is my hand waving goodbye. Bye-bye.